God, or Nara and Narayana, as they are termed in Sanskrit. Arjuna's questions and doubts are those of each and every one of us. The answers of the divine Krishna transcend time and space, and Krishna's message is as valid today as it was on that fateful battlefield some thousands of years ago. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism eloquently explains the inner metaphorical meaning of Mahabharata thus. The great war of Mahabharata is the fight between the positive and negative thoughts, between the positive and negative thoughts called the samskaras. The positive thoughts are the Pandava princes, and the negative thoughts are the Kaurava princes. The Kurukshetra, or the battlefield, is the body. Arjuna is the individual consciousness, and Krishna is the enlightened master. Bhagavad Gita Decoded, authored by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is not a commentary or a modern interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita. It is a re-speaking, the revival of the most supreme secret of Gita from the consciousness of the rare living incarnation, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who embodies the very science and experience of Gita, a pure absolute revelation of the happening of Gita presented in the original spirit and body language that only an enlightened being can radiate and manifest through the inexpressible energy veiled within his expressed words. To read this book is to obtain an insight that is rare. It is not a mere reading, it is an experience. It is a meditation. And Bhagavad Gita Decoded was published and distributed in 2015 first, with more than 10,000 copies in the English language. And today it has over 19 million copies of Bhagavad Gita in 3 languages, English, Hindi, and Tamil, and 0.5 million copies distributed at Kumbh Mela in Hindi, and 1 million copies in Tamil distributed globally, and 80 million through soft copy, or the digital book, continuing at a rate of 30 to 50 downloads per day since 2013. This Bhagavad Gita Decoded is a collection, a re-speaking of the great scripture that was revealed thousands of years ago by the current living incarnation of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the very energy of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and the compilation of all of the Bhagavad Gita discourses of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which you can explore and see at Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, which I'm sure many of you are joining with us right now from. Swamiji has spoken on every single verse in elaborate detail as a key to your enlightenment, as literally the doorway into the unknown, the cosmos itself. This elaborate commentary is not just a commentary, but a living description and re-speaking of the Bhagavad Gita, the song of God. And for even us modern day users in this day and age, when our answers are clouded by ignorance and we are continuously deluded in so many different forms, Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has mapped the great language of Bhagavan Sri Krishna into our modern day thinking, making it easy to grasp, understandable, and absolutely digestible, experienceable for each and every one of us, for not just daily fulfillment, but also an experience of living enlightenment. This book is literally considered worshipped as a deity in Kailasas across the world, as it is literally one of the greatest scriptures, the greatest commentaries that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has delivered, has gifted to the world. So let us now understand Bhagavad Gita from the book Bhagavad Gita Decoded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And this book compiles over 950 discourses, 2,000 hours captured on video, which is available on Kailasa's SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam channel and websites globally. And it is also 5,000 plus hours of audio discourses, which are available on a growing number of podcasting platforms, and also now available for ebook reading. Today, the experience of Parandhama Vishwarupa Darshan is exactly what Bhagavan Sri Krishna gave to Arjuna thousands of years ago on this very day. And as we are at its opening, its entrance, we offer our gratitude to Bhagavan Sri Krishna for having brought down this science thousands of years ago on this very day. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the ultimate sacred scripture of yoga, the Yoga Shastra, and the pristine glory of the Vedic culture, an eternal living tradition called Sanatana Dharma. It belongs to the whole universe, for it is delivered from the universe by the source and embodiment of the universe. We salute and bow down to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who spoke Bhagavad Gita out of his infinite love and compassion for all beings. And out of our gratitude, let us chant and sing the Krishnashtakam verse number 1. Vasudeva sutam devam kamsachanuramardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. I salute unto you, Bhagavan Krishna, Guru or Master of the world, son of Vasudeva, the supreme bliss of Devaki, and the destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura. Now, let us understand the gist of the whole Mahabharata and how it maps to our life exactly. The personification of Gita. To fully internalize the message of Bhagavad Gita, it calls for deeper insight into its genesis. We must go back to the great origin, the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is a physical, visual presentation of the Bhagavad Gita. All the principles of life that are explained in Gita are portrayed and personified in the form of the characters of Mahabharata. All the principles that Sri Krishna teaches in the Gita, the Mahabharata is a movie of those in life and those principles at play. Mahabharata is a book where the personification of each quality appears as one character. You live in so many different experiences in your life. You carry so many parts. One part of you is integrity. One part of you is authenticity. Another part of you is responsibility. And another part of you is enriching. And on the other side, one part of you is also self-doubt. Some part of you is self-denial, and another hatred. One part of you is knowledge. One part of you is compassion. One part of you is violence. And one part of you is cunningness. One part of you is tapas or penance. And one part of you is the pure silence. When all of these parts are fully awakened in you, you are fully bloomed. Then you are Sri Krishna, the celebration of the life of Sri Krishna. He is the Purna Avatara, the most powerful and complete incarnation, the embodiment of pure love and compassion. And Sri Krishna is the personification beyond any personality who never gives up on people, even those who are hypocritic and adharmic. He can simply enter into any multi-layered personality and joyfully, playfully handle them just as they are. If you understand the Mahabharata, the Great War, you will understand the complexity of the personalities and the complexity of you. You will never have hatred or denial to some part of you or towards some part of others. You will understand how to handle the whole life just as it is, and it comes for you. The Pancha Pandavas, or the 5 sons of the King Pandu, are the embodiment of the great powers that come from the 4 tattvas in our life. The Pancha Pandavas are the 5 sons of King Pandu and are the embodiment of the great powers that come from the 4 tattvas in our lives. Yudhishthira is the embodiment of integrity, the power of words, the Vak Shakti. Bhima is the embodiment of authenticity, the power of thoughts, Mano Shakti. Arjuna is the embodiment of responsibility, the power of feeling, Prema Shakti. And Sahadeva is the embodiment of enriching, the power of living, Atma Shakti. Finally, Nakula is the embodiment of causing reality for others. So they are the 5 Pandavas, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Sahadeva, and Nakula, taking the form of a part of us, a great power within inside of us. And the Mahabharata is like an ocean. It has 10,000 stories woven into it, all of them seriously woven into the main text, even though each is an independent story, an independent event. Just imagine the effort required to create hundreds and hundreds and thousands of stories and characters and maintain the integrity of these characters throughout the epic without any help of editors. Of course, do you even think that you could have done it? Because it is impossible to create such a work of fiction, one needs to accept this is a compilation of true incidents that reflect the lifestyle which is referred to as the Treta Yuga, the 3rd quarter of time in our scriptures. This is how people behaved then and how people behave now. What happened then repeats itself now, again and again. The great war of the Mahabharata is the fight between the positive and negative thought patterns of the mind called samskaras or root thought currents, meaning the deep identity or the earliest memory you carry and create about you and others. And don't think you carry only one identity about you. You also carry an identity about the world, and you look at the world only through that. And that is what is called the root thought pattern, the identity to which you see you and the world. The positive thought currents are the Pandava princes and the negative thought currents are the Kaurava princes. The Kurukshetra or the battlefield is the body. Arjuna is the individual consciousness and Sri Krishna is the enlightened master. And the supreme consciousness driving and guiding the individual consciousness at every moment as literally his charioteer. Krishna promises to happen again and again 5,000 years ago on this very day. The next 2 verses from the Bhagavad Gita, if they are understood, then not only the whole Gita, but all the spiritual scriptures can be realized. Here, Bhagavan Krishna promises and declares, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuttanamadharmasya tadatmanam sadhamaham. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever there is decline in the individual consciousness, whenever the collective consciousness increases, to establish the righteousness of the eternal unconsciousness, the science of eternal. Let me read that again. Whenever there is a decline in individual consciousness, whenever the collective unconsciousness increases, to establish the righteousness, the collective eternal consciousness, and the science of eternal, bliss, dharma, samsthapanarthaya, I myself appear millennium after millennium, sambhavami yuge yuge. Only a master like Bhagavan Sri Krishna can declare the truth so clearly. Here Krishna declares, I come down again and again to set right the wrong. As declared by Bhagavan Krishna, he has happened again on this planet Earth as the supreme pontiff of Hinduism. And in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 8, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Sri Arjuna, Natu mam shakshaye drashtum anainaiva chakshuhu divyam dhadami te chakshu pashyame yogamaishwaryam. And he says in English, but you cannot see me with these physical eyes of yours. Let me give you the divine eye. Behold my divine power. Now, let us see a glimpse of millions receiving this very initiation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, what happened 5,000 of years ago, happening today in our lives.
கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கருணை மிகுந்த அன்னை என்னும் வரமளித்தது கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கருணை மிகுந்த அன்னை என்னும் வரமளித்தது பரம ஞான ஒளியில் குழந்தை ஜொலி ஜொலித்தது பரமஹம்ச நித்யன் என்னும் பெயரும் பெற்றது பரமஞான ஒளியில் குழந்தை ஜொலி ஜொலித்தது பரமஹம்ச நித்யன் என்னும் பெயரும் பெற்றது கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது தவழும் அழகை கண்ட தாயின் மனம் களித்தது ரசித்தது துரு துருப்பாய் நித்யனே எங்கும் விதம் ரசித்தது தங்கமகன் நித்யன் தெய்வம் என்றுணர்ந்தது தங்கமகன் நித்யன் தெய்வம் என்றுணர்ந்தது கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது பரவசத்தில் ஆழ்ந்திட பூமி காக்கும் நித்யனை நான் வாரி அணைத்திட பூமி காக்கும் நித்யனை நான் வாரி அணைத்திட கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது வசியம் செய்திட விடமஞ்சலில் நித்யன் என்னை வசியம் செய்திட வாழ்வின் வேதம் வேறில்லை என்றே கொண்டாடிட வாழ்வின் வேதம் வேறில்லை என்றே கொண்டாடிட கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது கடவுள் அவதரித்தது
Yes. In this video, you were able to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiating the blind in the Kailasa Shamala Sarvagnipeetam. Now, let us be introduced to who is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism before we enter into today's most exciting program, and we are getting ready for the Paramdhama Vishwarupa Darshan. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva, recognized by his predecessors who were among the most esteemed and respected gurus, enlightened beings of the 21st century, including Pundi Mahan, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Annamale Swamigal, and several others. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has today made the science of paramanifestation and yoga and temple-based universities available for humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasa Shamala Sarvagnya Peetham. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the socio-spiritual activities as well as the religious activities of the Kailasa Shamala Sarvagnya Peetham in the Madurai Adinam as well as surrounding temples. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is declared as the successor of the Arunachala Sarvagnya Peetham. By the Guru Parampara, his Guru Parampara, which you can see here, Mata Vibhudanandapuri, Isaki Swamigal, and Yogi Yoganandapuri, at the age of 16. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Nithyananda Sangha in order to revive Kailasa internationally at age 21. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnya Peetham by consecrating the land in 2002. And you're seeing here pictures of Swamiji consecrating the land in what was once a forest, but is today a sprawling city, due to the hard work and dedication of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in making this enlightenment city. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagara Sripura Sarvagnya Peetham and the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam of the Suryavamsa lineage, and as well coronated as the successor of the Kashi Sarvagnya Peetham, and also the Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the position of the supreme spiritual head of one of the oldest Hindu papal states in ancient kingdoms in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the Mahanirvani Akhada. And as well, the reviver of the Adi Pallava Sarvagnya Peetham, and also having revived and been coronated as the successor of the Tanjavur Adinam, and as well coronated as the successor and the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tiruvarur Adinam, and as well the Vedaranyam Adinam. You can see here the lineage of predecessors of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also coronated as the successor of the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam, and as well coronated as the successor of the Adipita Kolada Mutt in Karnataka, one of the oldest Hindu papal states in Karnataka. And as well, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was elected with the title of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the Atirudra Mahayaga, which happened in 2015, where a congregation of over 1,000 leaders came together and unanimously elected the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, literally declaring him as Bhagavan, declaring him as the incarnation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is today revered, respected, and followed by more than 1 billion across the world, and working to build the largest and the greatest Hindu nation through digital means, and as well leading and reviving the greatest Hindu nation with 1 billion lives enriched and 1 billion lives enriched, and more than 1,120 Facebook pages, 50 websites, 102 Instagram channels, and 70 initiatives. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has served 27 years of tireless humanitarian services, including free vegetarian food banks, medical supply, and as well women empowerment initiatives, peace and conflict resolution, and so much more. And as well, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored over 300 books in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, primarily by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, and then further translated into 50 different languages. And you can find this gold mine of spiritual knowledge at books.nithyananda.com and download your free copy of the knowledge given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism today. With over 20 million copies today sold, read, and downloaded of all of the books of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And as well, the establisher of the Nithyananda Hindu Library, with more than 1 million palm leaf scriptures restored and revived, and as well as 20 million digital books and 1 million books collected. And with over 10,000 hours of discourses and over 1 billion views on social media. And respected as a commentator of the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishad, the Shiva Sutras, the Jain Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, and even the Brahma Sutras. And as well honored as the most internationally acclaimed leader of Hinduism, as well as having certificates of recognition for the amount of hard work that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done by the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. And as well acclaimed as the top spiritually influential living beings by the Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. And as well the reviver of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and the Nithyananda Order of monks, nuns, and the Hindu diaspora working across the world for global superconscious breakthrough and for its revival. Today, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established more than 1,000 enlightenment ecosystems, and the Nithyananda Gurukul, the Nithyananda Hindu University campuses in more than 150 nations across the world. And finally, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the reviver and founder of more than 100 Sarvagna Pitas. You can see here some of the examples. So now, with this, it's coming to a conclusion of this segment in today's program. Once again, I'm so excited to be able to welcome each and every one of you to this auspicious Gita Jayanti program, the Parandhama Vishwarupa Darshan, where after 5,000 years, humanity is once again witness to the Vishwarupa Darshan of Bhagavan Sri Krishna as he is walking on planet Earth right now today. Invite all of your family, friends, and let us celebrate this auspicious occasion in Kailasa with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. With this, we'll now be going into the next segments of today's program after a quick break.
Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gahana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, welcome to today's Manifesting the Extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva and Parashakti. Today, as part of the Kailasa's Bhagavad Gita celebrations, we are going to be looking into manifesting the extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva himself, who is the embodiment for all the gods and goddesses. Today, special initiation, third eye initiation, the Divya Chaksu initiation from Swamiji, our beloved Guru, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is going to be initiating all of us into the science of third eye awakening, initiating all of us to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Today, we're going to witness the live Sakshi Pramana, to manifest the power of third eye. When you manifest the power of third eye, what happens to your being? You awaken your superconscious energy in all of you. So now, let us all get ready to witness the demonstration of the powers. The Balasans, Nithyananda Yogis, the initiated disciple of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, will now be demonstrating the powers of Paramashiva and sharing with all the experience and results of the extraordinary manifestation of the divine powers which is awakened in us through Diksha initiation. In today's BHAVA SAMADHI Darshan, all of us will be receiving the initiation into third eye awakening in various other powers and blessings of the grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We will be manifesting the following powers, which is the third eye, seeing with your eyes blindfolded. Third eye is a cosmic browsing center which is located between your brows, which upon initiation, one can effortlessly express powers in see through the third eye, just as you do with your two eyes. So what are basically Shaktis? In the Vedagamas, which are the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis, the divine powers. Shaktis are described as a system, method, and science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are divine. You need to manifest divine, and not you are man, you need to reach divine. So, what are the difference between Shaktis and Siddhis? The Shaktis expressed from the space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the Guru. The Shaktis are the source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment. Siddhis are the path of enlightenment. The Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after the initiation from the avatar. The Shaktis are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not permanent. Siddhis may divert you from the space of enlightenment. Paramashiva is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form and causality. As the fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, the five cosmic acts of Shristi, creation, Sthiti, sovereign leadership and maintenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Prabhava, Anugraha, which is liberating grace for all living entities. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is an 1008th living incarnation representative of Paramashiva and the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been the cradle of enlightened beings in highly advanced science. It was where the science of enlightenment and powers, Shaktis, was lived and taught as a lifestyle. For the first time in modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at record-breaking pace never accomplished before. The knowledge and science of manifesting these Shaktis are passed on from one generation to the next through Diksha, initiation by the enlightened Gurus. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the initiation and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra and Sri Vidya, Yoga and Yogi powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushadha, Advaita and Bhakti Yoga, Paramashivoham and Paramashivoham. So, how to awaken the divine Shaktis in us? Every ultimate truth, which is a jnana, mapped into your consciousness, prajna, manifests as a possibility and power of every being, prajnana. Now, let us watch this short video. What is Diksha? The initiation getting transmitted from the avatar to the disciple, of how Swamiji very beautifully transmits to either through a look, word or a touch.
Transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarva samapi dikshanam muktihi phalamakhanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, Birdi, Bengaluru. Contact 97422 03311 82774 90091. Visit www.nithyananda.org.
The science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidence, which are called pramana. The Shastra pramana, which are the eternal unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures. Apta pramana, which are the experience and results of aptas or authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis and scientists who have time tested and verified the science. Atma Pramana, which are the account of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Praktiksha Pramana, which are called empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. Vedas are the ultimate superior authorities for Hindus, where Vedas are the pure science, the ultimate truths are explained. Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. Vedas and Agamas, which are called the Vedagamas, are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva himself. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. A reference cited from the Shastra source scriptures is called Shastra Pramana. Let us now get ready to witness a very unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye. We have the Shastra Pramana, which is the scriptural reference to manifest the power of third eye. Kapalantarmanonyasya tishtanmilitalochanaha kramena manaso dadyad lakshayed lakshamuttamam. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind and inner space, through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal, Lakshyam, by having vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source, Paramashiva. Apta Pramana, which is in the Hindu Purana, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Krishna initiates Arjuna the power of third eye to behold Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshan, the vision of his cosmic form. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which contains the description of Bhagavan Krishna's cosmic form, is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Krishna through his third eye. Atma Pramana, which is Swamiji's own words, the first experience that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degrees, 10 directions, below me, everything I realized, not only was able to see, I was able to feel, experience all of that as me. Praktiksha Pramana, which are called the study measures and comparative metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and meditative states. When you are doing daily activities, high activity is measured in the brain where the third eye is located. When you are in the deep samadhi state, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the brain is rest at peace. Sakshi Pramana, which is this rare sacred science of third eye awakening, is being made available to humanity for the ultimate enrichment and conscious evolution by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Swamiji embodies the most profound yogic state that surpasses all bounds of time, space and matter. Swamiji is gifting this pure great science of third eye awakening along with many other spiritual sciences through initiation, Diksha. Millions of people have been initiated by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and are experiencing the profound results as extraordinary powers in their everyday life. Let us now take few moments to witness the live Sakshi Pramana, which is a demonstration of the power of third eye with the Balasins and Nithyananda Yogis. Now we'll be entering to the live Sakshi Pramana, which is a demonstration of power of third eye. Before entering, as we're going to be noticing about today, as part of today's Kailasa's Bhagavad Gita Jayanti celebrations, Swamiji has released many books, and one of the book is called the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Bhagavad Gita decoded book. Bhagavad Gita Decoded is a single volume enriched edition containing titles of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam on the timeless Hindu scriptures. Bhagavad Gita delivered by Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the incarnation who walked on the planet several thousands of years ago in the prehistoric times. Understand, the Gita is not just for the people who worship Krishna, or who worship Shiva, or who worship Arjuna, or who worship Buddha or Mahavira. Gita is spoken by the cosmos through Krishna himself. That is why Vyasa is using the word Bhagavan for Sri Krishna throughout the Gita. So it is universal. Nobody can claim it or own it, as it is given by the universe to the human. It is not a personal property of anybody, not even the personal property of Hindus. Once it is delivered, it belongs to the whole world. The essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita is the master awakening a responsibility in the disciple. That is why everywhere the Gita talks only about responsibility. In Bhagavad Gita, there are many different scriptures where it's mentioned how Bhagavan Krishna enlightens each and every single disciple of him, from Arjuna to every human being, out of all the sufferings from their life to manifest extraordinary powers in their everyday life. When you study the Gita, you will find that Arjuna's logic is focused to be very intelligent. He does not want to fight, but Krishna emphasizes the intelligence one's need to center to fight from the space of Advaita, non-duality. In this point, I just want to briefly explain Advaita. Non-duality means oneness. When you are connecting yourself to Parandama, Bhagavan Krishna, in the space of oneness, you experience the powers. You experience the state, space, powers, being and super consciousness of Paramashiva. Ultimately, Bhagavan Krishna in Swamiji's form, our own beloved Guru, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Swamiji very beautifully tells, only to a close friend with whom you can open your heart can your struggles can be open. Only when you are able to respect somebody more and more, by knowing his struggles and conflicts, by knowing what you achieve, he becomes friend to you. For Bhagavan Krishna, Arjuna was very close friend of him, where he described the whole Bhagavad Gita to him and enlightened him from his own experience and dilemma. So Swamiji gives the third eye initiation to Arjuna, as we have noticed in the Atma Pramana, where Swamiji very beautifully tells in the Hindu Purana Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagavan Krishna initiates Arjuna to the power of third eye, whereas Parandama Krishna is showing his full Vishwarupa Darshan, the vision of his cosmic form, where he is standing with all the gods and goddesses, the weapons and everything in him. Swamiji, who is the embodiment of Krishna, Paramashiva and all the goddess and goddesses, today as part of the Kailasa's Gita celebrations, is going to present all of us to Parandama Vishwarupa Darshan of Bhagavan Krishna. So now, before entering the power manifestation demonstration, manifesting through third eye, closing your eyes, remembering Swamiji and Krishna to manifest this power, let us take few moments and watch the oneness capsule of Krishna connecting ourselves in the space of oneness, Advaita, the non-dual space, to reach Krishna, our beloved Guru, in Swamiji's form, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Now, let us all take few moments, connect ourselves and chant the Mahavakya as we have watched the oneness capsule of Swamiji, remembering Swamiji in the form of Krishna to ourselves. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now, the first photo which is getting projected where Swamiji is sitting in the form of Krishna. He is having a flute, both of his hands which is in Abhaya Mudra, one of his hand which is in Shin Mudra. Swamiji is having a turban with lots of jewels studded on it. He is bare chested and there's a jewel which he is wearing. Swamiji is giving the Bhagavan Krishna Bhava Samadhi Darshan, and he is sitting on a throne and his eyes are closed. He is smiling and he is giving his darshan to all the devotees and the disciples. So that is the first photograph, and we are going to receive ourselves bowing down through our third eye. Swamiji is Krishna. Swamiji is a form of Krishna where we just saw the oneness capsule, and now seeing Swamiji in the form of Krishna, the image which is getting projected to all of us for us to bow down. At this point of time, anyone who wants to have any sankalpa and anything they want to manifest as their reality, they can chant Paramashivoham. Witness this live Sakshi Pramana, this power of third eye, where all of us today are going to get initiated from Swamiji of the third eye initiation and manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Next. Now, the next part of the demonstration is the text of Bhagavad Gita, a random test of how Swamiji explained the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita decoded in a short way of what Swamiji has been commented and translated. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is ultimate sacred scriptures of yoga, Yoga Shastra, and the pristine glory of the Vedic culture, an eternal living tradition called Sanatana Dharma. It belongs to the whole universe, for it is delivered to the universe by the source and embodiment of universe. We salute and bow down to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who spoke the Bhagavad Gita out of his infinite love and compassion for all beings. Whenever unrighteousness, adharma, comes predominant and dharma, righteous living, declines, and the yoga of enlightenment is lost, Parabrahma, Krishna, the Supreme Consciousness, appears again and again to revive this sacred yoga, to protect and to enrich the devoted beings, and destroy adharma, and to re-establish the pure and everlasting dharma. The science of enlightenment, dharma samsthapanataya shambhavami yuge yuge. This is Sri Krishna's promise at the essence and spirit of the Gita. Krishna is the Saguna Brahman, the physical cosmos, who showed himself in this form to Arjuna in his Vishwarupa cosmic form. Krishna is Nirguna Brahman, as well the formless consciousness in both the form and the formless. He is Krishna, the divine consciousness, who has the attributes that he talks about here. The divine is imperishable. It is an aksharam. Everything else in the material universe may come and go, appear and disappear, while the divine remains forever. It is unique and incomparable and cannot be benchmarked against anything, as it is supreme. It is avyaktam, unmanifest and achintyam, inconceivable, and therefore cannot be comprehended by the senses. It cannot be grasped by thoughts and mind, which is one's mind body, needs to be transcended to glimpse the divine. The divine resides everywhere and is omnipresent. So now, as we have witnessed this third eye initiation and the live Sakshi Pramana, which we are able to read through our eyes closed, third eye, we are just connecting ourselves to Bhagavan Krishna, the form of Swamiji, where we have just washed the oneness capsule and chant the Mahavakya a couple of times, remembering Swamiji in our third eye and in our inner space to manifest this power. So with this is just a glimpse to show all of the devotees who are just watching live from all the social media platforms of how to manifest this power of third eye and to hold ourselves to receive and have a medium to have Swamiji inside all of ourselves to receive the third eye initiation today. So we'll be having the Parandama, the Vishwarupa Darshan of Swamiji in the form of Bhagavan Krishna to receive the Divya Chakshu initiation, third eye awakening inside all of our being. So with this, we come to the conclusion of today's power manifestation segment. Stay tuned after a short break for the next session. Thank you, Nithyanandam.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.